Hello, welcome to Website Wednesday. So lovely to see you here. So today we're talking about blogging, and we're going to have a look at why it's so powerful, and even though there are so many blogs out there, why it's still really, really good idea for you to be blogging in your business. And I know that lots of people get really hung up on the idea that they've got to constantly be creating content, but actually blogging doesn't need to be difficult. And often there's a lot of stuff that you can just pull out of your head and put it into a blog post. There's also people that could do this for you. So if you're really not sure about making a commitment to a blog, there are so many reasons to do it. So let me just run through 5 reasons why blogging is a good idea for you and it's a good idea for your business. So the first one is that it establishes authority. So if you're consistently providing really valuable content, you are going to be seen and establish yourself more as an expert in your field. So as a coach or a course creator, it's a really, really great way for you to align yourself with your values and build up that kind of trust with your audience. The second thing is it attracts leads. There's absolutely no doubt about this. So a well-written or an informative blog can attract the kind of clients and your potential clients that you are wanting and who are actually searching for the kind of solutions that you provide. So there are people who are out there looking for the answers to their problems. And if they stumble across your blog post, then ta-da, they are on your website and they are in your world. So it definitely is a great, great way of attracting your kind of people to your world. The third thing is it provides content for you to market with, to actually, never be staring at a blank page again, thinking about the next Instagram post that you're going to put there, because you can repurpose your blog posts into so many different formats, and you can put them out there as social media updates, as email newsletters, and loads of other forms of marketing, which you may not be doing yet. The fourth thing is it allows you to get really specific with your niche. So I'm often talking about niching down, getting specific with your audience. Blogging enables you to really, really align yourself with your specific niche. And so you can really help qualify or bring in more qualified leads. Because if you are very, very specific, let's just say you are an online business manager, you can help people with their email marketing, you can help people with their social media content, you can help people set up their sales pages. But what you really, really love doing is helping people set up online summits. Let's just say online summits is the niche that you want to be going for. If you are blogging about online summits, the mistakes that you've seen people making with them, the results that people are having with them, case studies from your clients that have used them, suddenly you become really, really attractive to people who are looking for help to create their online summit. So niching down, if you are niching in any way, then blogging around your particular niche will really, really help you. And the fifth reason to blog is because it's really cost effective. It doesn't cost you anything except your time, which I know is hugely valuable. Or obviously, if you're paying somebody else to do it, it's going to cost you with the invoices that you're paying for them or whatever their fee is. But it is a really, really cost-effective way, especially as paid ads start to increase in price. It's a really cost-effective way for you to reach your audience and your ideal audience. These are people who are coming to you because they are reading content on your website. And so for all of those reasons, it's really great for search engine visibility. So search engines they love fresh content on your website. The more you're updating your website and the longer people are staying to read your blog posts, the more likely they are to send more traffic to you. And it's this self-fulfilling prophecy and this beautiful circle of content brings in more clients and more traffic brings in more clients and so on. So you're building up this ecosystem. So let's have a look now. If you're thinking, okay, blogging sounds like a good idea, but what would I write about? So I'm going to give you a few examples, 10 examples of blog posts which are really popular and aren't that difficult for you to actually go ahead and write. So the first thing is how-to guides. You will have seen this, and these can be guides about absolutely anything that you are an expert on. And these posts tend to provide a step-by-step instruction on how to complete a specific task or solve a particular problem. So a how-to guide, for me, I may do a how-to guide on how to launch your next course through running a 5-day challenge, for example. That would be a how-to guide. So that's the first thing. And there may be stuff that you're comfortable writing with. There may be stuff that you don't really feel like enough of an expert in your field to write about a how-to blog post. But I can guarantee there's stuff that you are doing in your business or in your life that would be interesting to other people. It may be your morning routine. How do you make sure that you, by 8 o'clock every morning, are absolutely filled with energy and raring to go? So you may be a weight loss coach, and yet if you're writing about your morning routine, that can work as well. People will be interested in it. So those are your how-to guides. The next thing is list posts. So list posts are great. These are really, really easy for you to write. They basically provide a list of tips, resources, or other information on a specific topic. So I could have a list post on the top 10 resources that I use in my business, such as StreamYard, which I'm going live on now, Thrivecart, which I use for my sales pages, that kind of thing. I literally just do a list of all the things that I use, why I love them, and where people can go ahead and go and find them. So those are list posts. The third thing is opinion pieces. So you may have a very specific opinion on certain things. So for example, if you're a weight loss coach, you may be a great believer in the fact that calorie counting isn't the best way for you to lose weight. So you could do an opinion piece around it. And opinion pieces are great for you to buck the trend and maybe put forward an opinion which is slightly controversial or maybe slightly out of the norm. And so these are really expressing your personal opinions on anything to do with your industry or your expertise. The fourth thing is case studies. I absolutely love case studies as blog posts, and lots of you who are in my world, in the Visibility Vault, will have heard me talking about go ahead and actually write some case studies, because people love reading about how other people have moved from where they might be right now to having that end outcome that seems like where they want to get to, the thing that they want to achieve. They love seeing how other people have actually done it and moved all the obstacles out of the way. And so for you, if you are providing any kind of solution or strategy for people to actually improve their lives or their businesses or whatever it might be, case studies are a great way to show that you have worked with people who have actually completed what they're needing to do. So case studies are great. The next one is interviews. You could do interviews with industry leaders in your field. So they would typically feature an interview with an industry expert or a thought leader, and then provide the people who are reading your blog posts some kind of valuable insights and perspectives. And so when I'm talking about an interview, it might make you think that it's a video. And yes, of course, you could do a video and transcribe it, but it could just be, I mean, you may have read it in any of the magazines like Red or Cosmo or whatever it is that you're reading. You will see interviews of, questions and then the answers that the interviewer gave. And they are really valuable. They're really, really valuable content. The next thing is news and updates. So if there's anything timely that's happening in your particular industry or anything that's new, then it might be that you want to go ahead and keep your readers informed about any of these latest developments or any particular news within your industry. So for example, if WordPress were just about to roll out a brand new massive update, I could write a blog post about it. So you can go ahead and start looking at the industry news and thinking about what's going to be useful for your readers to actually learn about right now. So news and updates are great. Another thing is product reviews or tool reviews. So I've done reviews in the past which are really, really well received. So I might do a review around Thrivecart, or often what's really good is comparison posts. So where you're doing a review of two particular pieces of software or tools or whatever it is that's relevant to you, and then comparing the two side by side. So I think I've got a blog post that I wrote a while ago about the difference between WordPress and Squarespace. And so you can do product reviews, and these are great for people to understand the way that you're using them and what your experience was of them. Research-based posts are great because you're often sharing statistics. And if you really, really flesh out your content with figures that you can back up, then these are really shareable posts. Because if people are looking for statistics or data around any kind of topic, then often if they find or stumble across your post, then they're going to be likely to share it with people who also might be interested. And then the almost the last one is personal stories. Oh, sorry, I missed an S off that. Personal stories. Everybody loves having an insight into what is going on in your world. So these posts share personal anecdotes, experiences, or challenges that you have actually gone through and which is relatable and maybe inspiring to your user. So definitely don't miss out on these. Often we feel a little bit like, oh, no one wants to hear about that. But actually they do, especially if they can relate to it in a way that seems relevant to them right now. And finally, Q&As. So if you are in an industry where you already have contact with your existing clients or your potential clients, then these posts can address the frequently asked questions and the concerns that your readers may have and provide helpful answers and solutions. And even if you don't have an audience yet who are actually actively asking you questions, you can still go ahead and trawl through forums and other Facebook pages or Quora or any of these kind of online platforms and have a look at what kind of questions people are asking in your industry, and you go ahead and answer them in your own way, put your own spin on it and put your own tone of voice on it. And so these are 10 ways, and it's by no means an exhaustive list. There's so many other ways that you can write blog posts or topics that you can write about. But these, hopefully, these 10 should just give you a little bit of an insight as to how you can get started. So let me just run through them again. So we've got the how-to guides, we've got list posts, opinion pieces, case studies, interviews, news and updates, product reviews, research-based posts, personal stories, and Q&As. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a nudge as to why you should be blogging and the kind of blog posts that you can write. Now, those blog posts that I talked about, they are honestly relevant and specific. If you are in the coaching or service-based industry, or you're delivering courses or programs or memberships, you can make any one of those 10 that I have just mentioned fit into your business model and make it relevant for you. So you could use any one of those 10 ideas and go ahead and you could write a blog post a day. And if you are familiar with any of the new artificial intelligence, which is coming out at the moment and which the whole world is like completely gone crazy about, it can help you. I'm going to encourage you not to actually write your blog posts using artificial intelligence, but use it intelligently. So give it some ideas or give it an outline of the blog post that you want to write, and then you can go ahead and dive in and help it, or let it help you flesh out some of the content around it. I would be really resistant to actually letting it completely write a blog post for you, because you're really just adding to the noise that's already out there in terms of content delivery, and you want to put your own spin on things, put your own tone of voice on things, and make it your own. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about in terms of the likes of ChatGPT, then I'm more than happy to do a piece on that in the coming weeks, if any of you are interested in that, and just kind of give you an introduction to what it can do for you and the way that you might want to start using it in an intelligent kind of way. So let me come over to the questions. Hello, Rosemary. Hi, Jackie. Lovely to see you. Rosemary, great question. How often ideally should you be blogging? I would love for you to be blogging weekly, but I realize that that can be a real stretch for people. That feels really, really overwhelming for a lot of people to try to put out a new blog every week. If you do that, you're going to get traction much faster. And that's something else, is that blogging is a long game in terms of search engine visibility. So it might take a while for the search engines to really recognize that you're becoming consistent with your content. So even once a month would be better than not doing it at all. So putting something out once a month would be great. If you feel like you could, once a fortnight would be even better. Once a week would be awesome. If you look at anything from Neil Patel, who is a great guy in the search engine optimization world, he will tell you that he's putting out about 6 blog posts a week. And he gains massive, massive traction from that. But he has people writing all of that stuff for him. He's not writing them. So it's really not realistic for us to think that we could put something out there 6 days a week. I mean, that would just be crazy. But if you could do something once a week, it would be amazing. So let me just have a look. You keep freezing. I think it's my signal. Sorry, whoever that is. I can't actually see who that is. Absolutely connect and show that you're human. Totally. You like the Q&A blog, great ideas. Yeah, and Q&A blogs are great to write because actually if you feel like you're not a great writer and you don't easily get into the flow, a Q&A is literally exactly what it says it is. So it's just a question and then an answer. And you don't need to feel like you're having to be clever with your words or really articulate. So, I mean, obviously you want to make sure you are articulate in terms of your content is grammatically correct, but you don't need to feel like you're a wizard with words in order to write those Q&A blog posts. Diane says, so helpful. You are so very welcome. Lovely to see you here. Jackie, you're welcome too. How long would you recommend blog posts be? Okay, another great question. So at least 500 words, and I would aim for 1,000 if you can. And going back to Neil Patel, he always says that actually the blog posts that do best are 3,000 words. And I think he says the optimum length is 1,200. So that's a lot of figures that I've just thrown at you. But the likes of Yoast won't even give you a kind of a score unless your blog post is more than 300 words. So you must make sure that it's at least 500. And in fact, that's not a huge amount for you to write. I would be aiming for 1,000 would be my ideal. And if it goes over, so much the better. Someone says, what type of AI? Yes, would love to learn more. So there's something called ChatGPT, which is taking the world by storm at the moment. And I would, by all means, go and check it out. But do so with caution. I'm slightly cautious about it. It was released in November last year, and they had, I think I saw one of the statistics the other day, that they had 1 million people sign up within 5 days. It's just absolutely skyrocketed, and it is artificial intelligence on steroids, and it will blow your mind when you try it out. And it's free for you to try out too. It's suffering from a lot of glitches at the moment because so many people are signing up to it, and so it's difficult to create a new account. You probably want to do it when America is asleep, so do it in the morning if you're based in the UK or Europe, and you will have times when you just can't log on because it's just the system is overloaded with demand. So I will do something around ChatGPT and the implications of it. My concern with it is that it's going to make creating content a lot easier for people, which is fabulous. I'm all in favor of that, but I just don't want us regurgitating content that a robot has spat out, because that's what it is essentially. And yes, it's a super, super refined robot, and it can do amazing things, and it can be great for inspiration. But my concern is that we already live in this incredibly noisy world where there's so much content already out there that it's just going to completely overwhelm the space with noise. And so that's my biggest concern around it. But yes, I will do some more, a piece on it. Fabulous. Thank you, whoever it was that said that. Jackie, yes, I will do something along that. Joanne, yes to AI learning, not sure about it. Yeah, it's the jury is out on that. Anna-Louise says, great tips. What about having a transcript of video and the video in the blog? 100%, Anna-Louise. Like if you're doing video stuff, the way that I would do it is create your video, upload it to YouTube, and then embed, and I'm saying embed very specifically because I don't want any of you uploading video to your website because it will slow down your website. It will send your website hosting off the scale in terms of the storage capacity. So you're going to have to keep on upgrading. And so you want to make sure that you embed that video into your website. And then, yes, you can use the transcript as the blog. And then when you're sending traffic, I would send it to your blog, not to the video, because you get a double whammy. You get people visiting your website, which is great for your search engine visibility. But it also means that when the embedded video is played, you still get those views on YouTube. So you get the double hit from that. Jackie says, where are you streaming to, Vicky? Not seeing these comments. So I am over in the WordPress Happy community is where these comments are coming through from, I am guessing. Rosemary says, I heard that Google looks at it as a bit spammy. I read an article on this yesterday. I guess you're talking about ChatGPT. Rosemary, I'm not sure what it is that you are referring to. So yes, use with caution if you're going to use it. Rosemary, so pleased that's re-inspired you. And Louise, you are so welcome. All right, lovely to see you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. And I run these Website Wednesdays every single week at 12 o'clock UK time, over in the WordPress Happy community. That's the best place to catch these Website Wednesday lives. And if you've got any topics that you want me to cover, let me know and I will see if I can cover them. I will definitely look at ChatGPT, at pulling something together for you for next week to just give you a quick introduction for those of you who haven't yet found it or aren't yet using it. And for those of you using it, to just give some ideas on ways that you could use it with more intelligence and a smarter way to get it to inspire you rather than actually writing your content for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.